already in 2025, I've heard so many people talking about layoffs and stress and all these things happening at work. And part of it is that a lot of people aren't focused on the right metric when it comes to helping realize their company's potential for growth and their individual team members' potential for growth. So, one of the things that surprisingly made the cut for me as far as helping people understand what to prioritize first, and this catches some people by surprise, but I think it's high time we prioritize customer delight. We need to make sure that we're keeping our customers happy, whoever our target audience is. So instead of being stuck in a rut where you're doing the best job you can to try to organize profits and strategize and make sure you're in line with the vision and strategy and doing this and doing that, those things are all great. But what happens is you notice that there's a lot of competing number one priorities. All of these things are urgent. All of these things are important. All of these things must be done right now. And oftentimes, if you're a product manager or a product owner, you're swimming in what should I do? How do I sort all this? How do I muddle through the mess? And the answer is you need to get to understand what customer delight is. What does it mean? So delight is all about creating moments where the user goes, wow. These moments are usually not directly revenue driving. Sometimes they're not even core features. But these are the parts of the experience that the customer remembers. So part of what you need to do as an effective product owner or product manager is tap into that zone where you understand implicitly the customer's wants, needs, whims, and desires so that you can get that result. It's kind of like the small confetti animation when a user makes a deposit, or a third-party data aggregator seamlessly pulls data in populating a dashboard, or an unexpected customization and personalization. Those moments of delight are what brings brand loyalty and brand evangelism into play. It's always bothered me when I go into organizations and I see that they're so dead focused on product delivery that they're not focused at all on initiating delight. And my description of delight is an actionable description. It's something that you can do. It's something that you can go out on a limb and say, okay, I need to make changes in order to do this. And that means that we're doing two things. We're anticipating needs. We know that the need's going to come up, so we're going to do something to satisfy that need, and we're exceeding expectations. We're not just building the MVP and skimping on the features that the customer's really going to enjoy. We need to understand how delight manifests in successful products, and we need to understand how to make that relatable. So, for example, during the pandemic, everybody was staying home, and it was just a remarkable time where the world of work and the world of what we do changed. And TikTok's popularity exploded through the pandemic. Why do users love that so much? Well, the algorithm anticipates needs by analyzing your behavior and showing exactly what you want to do without actively searching for it. Oftentimes, you might catch yourself saying, how does it know me so well? It exceeds expectations by introducing new interests and communities that you never knew about while balancing the things that you thrive on and the things that you enjoy. So it's kind of a great way to get that balance. Another example is IKEA. IKEA delights because it merges functionality with unexpected imagination. So customers always get excited about it. I'm going to spend a day at IKEA like it's an amusement park. And IKEA does a fantastic job of anticipating needs by designing furniture that is both space efficient and multifunctional. So if you could get to that point with things like modular sofas and integrated beds and foldable tables, it's a distinctive chic style that creatively solves the kind of small living problems that we have, and it exceeds expectations by curating an exciting store experience that's optimized for its customers. So it is possible for you to prioritize delight and put it out there. You just have to work a little harder to do it. So you have to break down your products or your items into three categories, if you will. And a lot of people say, oh, high, medium, low. How about necessary, intuitive, and delightful? And a lot of people will use Moscow for this. Must have, should have, would like. Yes. But the thing that I'm saying here is, are we building products or systems or backlog items that solve a problem? Is it absolutely necessary to have this feature? Is it intuitive? Does it help create a frictionless use of our product? And then, is it delightful? And if we look at those three things when it comes to how we build products, that's going to help us get that delicate dance around figuring out what we need to build and what we need to build to wow people. And both are important. You need to make sure that you have some kind of way to measure delight, though. A lot of people just say, oh, we're going to make our customers happy. And then they never set a success metric, they never set a goal. And for me, I think that revolves around social media sentiment, customer interviews, finding data points and touch points that you can hit on that are going to allow you to understand better how your customer operates and what things they dig in on. Because I think that if you figure out that sentiment score and get the results and say, yeah, this is where we need to improve, or this is people don't care about this, you can get that, and you can call it qualitative feedback. You can get qualitative feedback about where people stands and where people's stance is, and that can help you create delight. So product sense comes into validity here. You need to make sure there's no science to properly analyze qualitative feedback. There's just not. But the starting point is to create a small feedback database. And as you hear feedback, collect it as a point, a data point. Don't worry about accessing it or acting on it at this point. Just collect it. And then as you collect the feedback, it'll start to paint a picture of what you need to do. And it'll take away the stressors that the customer faces, and it'll allow you to focus on the things that give the customer delight. And then you can start generating ideas that prioritize delight and put those would-like features up higher in the backlog so that you're actually getting something done each sprint that helps the customer celebrate something that they feel delighted about. It's not always just about adding bells and whistles. Sometimes it's making the experience better. Sometimes it's creating an internal tool for the people who are doing the work so that they can provide better things for the people externally who are consuming the work. So a lot of organizations like the Walt Disney Company really do focus on their cast members, and they put them ahead of everyone else. And people often ask, why do they do that? And the reason they do is because if you can delight the cast members and give them an opportunity where they love what they do, they're going to provide that same level of service for the people who are there visiting the parks. And that's where it makes the most sense. So that's going to do it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I hope that you were delighted by it. And I hope that you can pass along to others about this podcast so that they can listen and become delighted too. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Do take care.